Yo, yo, good morning. This one gonna be wild, man. Hey Lisa, what's up? This one is wild. 808, what's up? So I found something interesting in Fulton County, y'all. This case right here is tricky. Watch this, y'all. So if you look top right hand corner, that's Gabe Banks. This is in Fulton County Courthouse. Yeah. No, it's not the YSL trial, but watch. You see Holmes up in the top left-hand corner? Holmes got some pretty wild charges. Yeah. But you see, he at home. He not in jail, right? Pay attention. What up? 39, what up? 808, TL, Nikki, what up? Donna, Blue Dream, Lisa, Kev Black. What's up with y'all? Good morning. Yo, this is wild. Watch this, y'all. I'm telling y'all. This is a wild play. All right, Holmes Ray finessed the judge somehow, y'all. First off, if you know who this is, he used to be a prosecutor. And he came in and was the lawyer. Was he a lawyer for Brian Steele? Was he the lawyer for Brian Steele, y'all? He came into the YSL trial. He involved in the YSL. First off, he helped with the RICO. He worked in the DA's office when they was forming it. Previous cases that dudes got locked up on when he was a prosecutor, he didn't send dudes to jail, put it like that. So now he on his defense attorney's thing now. So he representing Holmes. But watch this.
Going through the plea, Mr. Banks is not going to be right next to you. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, Sean, I'm okay with it.
Great. Ms. Nix is going to put you under oath and we'll get started.
Mr. Sanders, please raise your right
Tap the
hand.
like button.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements or testimony that you shall give?
Hold on. Let's get some likes, man. We looking bony on the likes. Tap the like real quick. I promise this good content. It's pertinent too. And Gabe Banks is one of the major players in Atlanta justice system. If you ask me, I'm speaking from Baltimore though, so you gotta excuse me if I'm wrong. I'm speculating. Tap likes.
The matter currently before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
You can put your hand down. Please state your truth.
He had his hand. Hold on. Yo had his hand up to God and his. Hold on. What was he doing? He had his hand on his heart and his hand up to God. Hold on. Yo. Dudes be raising their hand at God. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Hold on. When you put your hand on your heart, hold on.
Correct and legal name.
Cordelia Cortez Sanders.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any medicine, drugs, or alcohol?
No.
Is there a medication that you normally take that you have not taken or been given today?
No, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
How far have you gone in school?
I made it to like the 10th grade.
10th
Is
grade.
English your native or dominant language?
Yeah.
Hey, yo. So we really know that most guys get up out of school. If they gonna leave, that 9th and 10th grade ain't no joke, is it? Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in. Straight up.
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that you've been charged with the following offenses? 3 counts of aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by convicted felon?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you plead not guilty or remain silent and refuse to enter any plea at all, then the state is required to prove the charges against you at a jury trial?
Yeah, ma'am.
Have you had the opportunity to review your rights with your attorney?
Yeah, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney about all of the charges in this indictment against you, including the facts and circumstances relating to each charge?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you need more time to discuss the case with your lawyer, Mr. Banks?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Yeah.
Mr. Banks, do you waive a formal reading of the indictment for purposes of the plea?
We waive a formal reading and any defects in the indictment, if they do exist.
Mr. Sanders, do you remember having been arrested on these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have been arrested on.
Has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge to which you're pleading guilty today?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that today you're entering a negotiated plea of guilty, which means that the state will recommend the following sentence to the court? The state recommends a 10-year sentence probated to counts 1, 2, and 3 to run concurrent with each other. Count 4, state recommends 5 years suspended to run consecutive to counts 1, 2, and 3. And as to count 5, state recommends 5 years probated
Yeah.
concurrent with counts 1, 2, and 3. Special conditions are no contact with Charles Hopkins and no violent contact with Kennel Jackson, Shavonda Jackson, or Clonicia Pons. That's Kennel is Kenel,
Clonicia.
Jackson, Shavonda, Shavonda Jackson, and Clonicia is Clanessia, Pons, Ponds. You must complete anger management and 100 hours of community service and be full-time employed or in full-time school.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay, do you understand that the court is not required to accept the state's recommended sentence?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that if the court, you understand that the court has the right to sentence you to the maximum possible sentence on each charge?
Ella.
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that since there are multiple charges to which you're pleading guilty today, the court also has the right to run those sentences consecutively?
Yeah, ma'am.
Pay attention.
Do you understand that if the court decides to order a sentence that differs from the negotiated plea you're expecting today, that you have the right to withdraw your plea of guilty?
Yeah, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
I not just only for here, only for South Fulton.
I don't understand that.
I didn't. Can you repeat
Like
that?
she says, I'm on probation. Yes, I'm on probation.
Okay. Do you understand that your probation may be revoked based on your entering this guilty plea today?
Yes.
Do you
Marshawn.
understand that if you are placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit?
Pay attention.
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that while you're on probation, you must follow all the special conditions of your probation?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you fail to follow all the special conditions of your probation, then you'll be subject to revocation of that probation for the balance of your sentence?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yeah, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, you may not receive, possess, or transport a firearm?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that doing so could result in new criminal charges for which you face
Lisa.
a sentence of up to 5 years?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, you also may not use a firearm in a crime in the future?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you were in the future to use
Yo, tap the like button. Help me get to 100 for 20 minutes, man. I know it's Saturday. Good morning. Yo, it's interesting. I'm telling you. Pay attention. Watch. She dry. Wait till he start talking. And you see the play. I'm telling you. Wait till you see the play. You're gonna be like, what? What happened? Watch.
a firearm during the commission of a crime, you would face a 15-year custodial sentence consecutive to the sentence for the underlying crime.
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that by entering a plea of guilty today, you are waiving any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights: the right to a trial by jury, to remain silent, to confront witnesses against you, to the assistance of counsel, to the presumption of innocence, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges at trial?
Yeah, ma'am.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea today?
Yeah.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
Shirley,
No.
Young Don.
Is it your decision to enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yeah.
Happy catfishing, baby. That's some gangster shit out early. Looking for catfish. I ain't even gonna lie. That's gangster.
How do you plead to the
Jennifer.
charges of 3 counts of aggravated assault, possession?
Good morning to everybody in here, man. Y'all have a nice day if y'all going out doing something, man. Look, to the people that's ready to lock in on the stream, man. Look, Gabe Banks is a prosecutor and a defense attorney. Well, not at the same time, but he's held both positions. Currently, he's a defense attorney, right? Now, he represented somebody in this trial. I believe it was Brian Steele. But he also done locked dudes up in the trial. Like, most of the defendants in the trial probably came across Gabe Banks at some time because Holmes was a main, basically, it appears he was Fannie Willis before Fannie. Yeah, he was in her spot, I believe, from what I'm understanding. So, he was going hard, but he a defense attorney now. You see up high. He looked like he right across the street from the courthouse.
A firearm during the commission of a felony and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Yes.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you wish to challenge the voluntariness of your guilty plea, you must do so by filing a habeas corpus petition?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you understand that since these are felonies, you have only 4 years from today to do so?
Yeah, ma'am.
Judge, had this case gone to trial, the state would expect the evidence to show that on or about March 30th of 2022, there was a fight at 600 Greens Ferry Avenue Southwest, which is in Fulton County, among a number of people, including Kendall Jackson and Tanasia Conwell. Mr. Sanders was contacted and he came to that location.
Pay attention.
And
pay attention. Pay attention.
Got involved in the fight. Mr. Charles Hopkins and Shavonda Jackson were also present on scene. During the fight, Mr. Sanders shot a firearm.
Whoa.
And it struck Charles Hopkins in the chest area.
Whoa.
Grazed Shavonda Jackson.
All right. All right. What happened? Home smoke. Yo try to smoke somebody. He at home though. How that work? Bro. How that work? Tap the like button.
Jackson and was shot in the direction of.
Yo, first off, the boy ain't got no shape up. Boy got on a shirt that say "Life is what you make it," like he a Beanie Siegel fan. Yo, Elaine, salute for that super chat. Yo, something ain't right, bro. All right, listen, it's ready to get wilder though. So look, I was listening. I say, hold on, he shot somebody for real. Watch though.
Kendall Jackson.
How many times did Mr. Sanders shoot his gun?
I do not know.
Yo, salute to Elaine.
Several.
Oh, it's not this one shot that went through Mr. Hopkins and grazed someone else and hit someone.
Damn, went through a person and hit another person. Yo, hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
Someone else.
Several
ninja.
times.
Okay.
During this fight, Mr. Hopkins also shot his firearm. There was conflicting statements in evidence about who shot first.
Oh yeah.
But Mr. Hopkins did not shoot himself.
Whoa.
And Mr. Sanders was a shooter, a shooter involved in this fight. And so that is why we've made the offer that we have made. We believe that this could go either way at trial. And so it would be best to resolve the case in a way that everyone is satisfied.
Yo, do you know what just happened? She just admitted we ain't got evidence to prove it. We ain't got evidence to prove it, Yana. So he didn't throw Holmes a deal. Now, Holmes got Gabe Banks, who ain't guaranteed a deal. But do you know that technically Holmes can beat this charge? That's what they just established. Holmes can beat this. He did shoot somebody. Ain't nobody gonna come and testify. Look at this, y'all. Watch
How
the play. Tap the
satisfied
like
is
button.
Mr. Hopkins?
Mr. Hopkins is difficult to get in contact with.
Witness is
He's
difficult.
still alive, as far as you know?
As far as we know, yes.
The shot to the chest didn't kill him.
Did not kill him.
Damn. Soldier. Because I'm a
Do you
soldier.
know much about the
at
origin of
war.
the fight? I see that, I'm sure it's not a coincidence, and Mr. Banks is going to explain. One of the people allegedly shot at in this case is the name on the cell phone Mr. Sanders is using.
Yes.
What? What? One's in the chat if you heard that part and you already peeped it. One's in the chat if you already peeped that Holmes is talking on the phone to somebody that he allegedly was a victim. Bro. See, that's why you don't get involved. You done went around there sliding on your baby mother and them, and Holmes right back in there with her. Same way go for her. She done called her brother and her cousin on Holmes. Now she right back laid up under yo. Like, yo, I thought that was for real. They like, nah, they do that shit all the time. You like, yo, why the fuck they call me? You called me around there, got me locked up, fucking with them. Like, yo, you should have known, bro. They do that shit like every weekend. Hell yeah.
Mr. Sanders
What?
and Miss Kendall Jackson share a child. Miss Jackson and Miss Conwell were fighting over Mr. Sanders. I have spoken with Miss Kendall Jackson. They do share a child, and I understand that Mr. Sanders is helping Miss Jackson with that child. So that's my understanding of what led to the fight. This was 2 apartments at this apartment complex, and once the fight started, everyone got involved.
And you mentioned that Mr. Sanders arrived at the fight, so he wasn't there when it started. Do you know from where he came? As in, like, he just walked out an adjacent door, or he had to have rolled up in a car?
He did arrive in a car driven by another individual, but I don't know where he was.
Okay,
when he was
but it was far enough away that he showed up in a car.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else shoot, or as far as you know, Hopkins shot and Sanders shot?
Correct.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
All right.
All right. Elaine, salute. I appreciate that. Tap the like button, baby. It's Saturday morning. Good morning to y'all, man. It's ready to get wild.
And
Watch
that
the game.
included Clenesia Pons in the
Yo,
no violent contact.
we didn't get to the slick part, just to let you know. The slick part is when Gabe start talking. Yes. The finesse, yeah. It's a lot of elements that's wild. First off, how the hell is Yo on the street and Thug locked up? Yeah, I hate to throw Holmes underneath the bus like that, but yeah. How Holmes on the street? Thug ain't got no charges, y'all. Wait, matter of fact, this gonna get worse. Because it's gonna be a part where it's gonna shock you. Like, whoa, what happened? Oh.
Because she was.
Long story short, Yo wasn't supposed to have no strap. New Georgia laws say felons can't possess guns to defend themselves. Self-defense law for felons, y'all. A felon can defend themselves now in Georgia. Uh-oh. That's how Doug baby mother situation went like that. Yeah. Somehow, yo, Georgia done passed some new law where felons can have a gun in a wild situation, and we ready to see it play out. Right? Watch this.
Was Mr.
Yeah,
Sanders is not charged with shooting at her, but she was also shot at. I don't believe that we know if it was Mr. Sanders or Mr. Hopkins. Mr. Hopkins was also arrested in connection with this. The state did decline that charge in
Young Don, I already got you beat, bro. I got YSL memberships 2 for $40. Wholesale. Yeah, you can holler at me. You can make a couple dollars.
April of this year.
And he ain't
based
cut
on
up.
the case intake attorney's review of the facts.
I ain't step on it.
So.
All right. So Mr. Sanders since then has been arrested at least twice for having a gun. One of them sounded pretty messy. He stayed in jail for almost 140 days. There were gang allegations.
Whoa.
It all appears to have been not prosecuted, but got arrested for having a gun in November of this same year that he shot someone.
Whoa.
And then in July of last year, he was arrested again for having a gun and firing that gun. Seems like
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
stayed in jail for a gun. One of them sounded twice. Sanders since then has been arrested at least twice for having a gun. One of them sounded pretty messy. He stayed in jail for almost 140 days. There were gang allegations. It all appears to have been not prosecuted, but got arrested for having a gun.
Yo, look at the nigga in the top. Look at the suspects. At the minute, it's going to look like Holmes don't be blinking, bro. I ain't going to lie. Holmes got a wild... Holmes need to fix his face to be in court. This streaming from home, shit, for court, this ain't what you want. It feels safer, right? Because you ain't, they ain't right there. They can't cuff you in your house, right? This camera angle, this ain't for court. This look down, talking to your man's Instagram style, this ain't right. Turn that camera sideways. Any of y'all ever had to go to court, turn your motherfucking camera sideways and sit straight up. Do not let that bitch beam up at you like that. Do not do that. I'm telling you, do not want this. All right, first off, a camera looking up at a person gives the impression that this person is big. Like you don't want to do that in court. If anything, you want to do the opposite. You want to make yourself seem small. Yeah. So it's tricks that get played with cameras. Now, underneath camera angle is giving the viewer the impression that you are smaller than the person you watching, which means you should look up to them type shit. It's a secret. Don't tell nobody I told you. But listen, right? I know one thing. This shit ain't meant for court.
In November of this same year that he shot someone. And then in July of last year, he was arrested again for having a gun and firing that gun. Seems like that hasn't been indicted yet, but it's possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. What's the status of this case, which would be the third time since he got a felony conviction that he had a gun and maybe fired that gun?
The 23 CP case has not been indicted yet, to my knowledge.
Okay. All right. Ms. Jackson, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Can you share with me Mr. Sanders's criminal history information, please?
He has 16 cycles. The last arrest was July the 19th, 2023, with the City of Atlanta Police Department for the use of a firearm by a convicted felon during the commission of a crime.
Yo, how he get a bail on that?
There was no disposition for that arrest. He does appear to be on probation in Fulton County. That case number is 22 SC 184676 for criminal street gang activity. That disposition date was June the 21st, 2023, and the term is for 9 years and 8 months. He does have prior misdemeanor convictions. It's one in 2018 for reckless conduct. And it's an additional one in 2018 out of Clayton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you.
What gang he affiliated with? We probably could track down through the paperwork from the area he live in, to be honest. If you check his charges to see where he get caught at, where he done been hemmed up at, by the time you check his jacket and you check the locations of them spots, you could pretty much figure it out. It ain't hard.
I'm looking up that 22 SC case.
He's not on probation for that. He's on probation for it, but not at the time of this offense.
Right.
Blue, you see it. You see it. Holmes like Woody, ain't he? See, me and Blue from Baltimore, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't gonna get no run like that. Not like that. Them consecutives, that gunplay with the police actually catching you with the gun. You feel me? Like, you gotta go police less to get a run. You know of doing things like that. Like, you consecutive out there in the streets. Oh, so that means you ain't been in jail. Because then if it's known, by the time they catch you, you sitting down. Like, it's like dudes beat charges, but like you not ready to run through a whole bunch of pattern of beating these motherfuckers. Nah. You feel me? That's if you do beat one. You feel me? Now, if you got a couple of dollars, you might be able to beat something or some technicalities. Is you ready to just be, out on 3 bonds and they serious violent crimes? Nah. No. I've never, you feel me? And I've been going off of this. Like, even when I was younger, somebody told me one time, I heard somebody say, shit, I'm out on 3 bails right now. I turned and looked. I asked them, bail for what? Because I know Holmes to be, he play with the dog food, right? So if you got caught 3 times with some smack and they gave you bond 3 times, technically this kind of fishy. What you got caught with 3, like literally like a dime or some dope? Ain't no way. Nah, you was hustling. So you got caught with 3 packs of dope on 3 different occasions. I don't trust you out this bitch. Straight like that. Because my bonds don't work like that. I done been in there and come in and had to see that commissioner. They don't be that friendly. They literally read down your previous charges that you out on. Like, literally, they go through your charges to determine whether or not they're going to give you the bail. So you mean to tell me you got a 3rd one with 2 open bonds? Man, you a serious-ass flight risk. I wouldn't even give you the bond. So you got, but look, it get worse. When you take it to violence, oh my God. What? What? Violence with the slap on the wrist, then you did the same thing. Like, which is carrying a pistol. So look, basically you caught a charge. You a felon. Now you can't carry a pistol. They tell you this. You know this. So you get caught with another charge where you got a pistol and a new charge with the pistol. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. All right, we gonna give you a bond. Yo, ain't no way you ready to come back through here before all this gets settled. Now, say you do catch this type of charge and you go through the probation and everything, you back on square one. All right, now you got a little bit of leniency. You got gap in between your charges. You feel me? That give you a little bit of benefit of the doubt. You ain't running it back to back. You understand? You ain't running it back to back. You feel me? You actually went through the whole cycle and made it back regular, and then, got caught up in the jam. That's a little bit more, that make a little bit more sense. But other than that, you back to back in a short time period. Oh, hell no, ain't too many judges giving no goddamn leniency, bro. No. You did exactly what the hell they you're doing what a person that needs to be locked up does. Real rap. You running it back to back to back to back. What I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to punish you. I was being lenient. The judge before me was being lenient.
No, I'm seeing if this is that arrest where he stayed in jail for 4 months, connecting him with the 4 Pockets Full gang.
Up there you go.
All right, Mr. Banks.
He just gave it to you, y'all. Who that is? That's Baby? So I could clickbait this. Lil Baby, homeboy. Why Lil Pockets, 4 Pockets Full member. Can we find a video? He in the video? Who can find a video with this nigga? We police if we can do that. I ain't gonna lie. If we find a Lil Baby video, I think we can. I think we can. They on these niggas for these gang labels, ain't they? In the future, niggas gonna keep putting letters in front of their name? What y'all think? Is niggas gonna get smart enough to just be named John? Like, what's your name? John Folks. What they call you? John? John. John. Lil John. That's all. You ain't in no gang? Hell no. I'm just John.
I don't think this is working out the way you've negotiated, but I'm happy to hear from you and from Mr. Sanders. I'm thinking bond revocation.
I don't need to wear it. If you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. Nah, Baby can't drop that 4 PF. That shit's stamped in his life. He can't take that back. That's hard stamped. That nigga would have to pay a couple $1 million to remove all the goddamn 4 PF connections to himself. Yeah, you can't just drop it after you stamp it. I ain't gonna lie. We in the internet. It don't work like that. No. You can't just say renege. No, we only know about that shit because the homes. He can't. Nah, that don't work. You can't just wipe that shit off this morning. Like, wash your face of your gang ties. Nah, cuz you was stamping that. You got that. Nah, you used it. You linked on it. You embraced it. You adored it. Nah, you can't do it.
Step 1, and then a sentence other than what's been negotiated. But I want to hear from you, and then we'll go forward.
Thank you, Judge.
Watch the
I do
finesse.
think that the recommendation is reasonable for several reasons. Mr. Sanders is 25, as you know. He does have 2 children. One is 4 months old and another is 2 years old. He was born and raised in Atlanta. All of his family and mother and father and immediate brothers and sisters live here in Atlanta, Judge. Concerning the day in question, I do agree with the state's assessment that it would be very difficult for the state to proceed and obtain a not guilty, a guilty verdict in this case. And so let me just kind of explain why, Judge. We don't dispute that he was called to the scene. The parties involved in this incident, Cannell Jackson is the mother of his child. And at some point, Cannell Jackson found out that Mr. Sanders had a relationship or had some dealings with another female.
Yo, this dude is black, Indian, Spanish, Arabian, mixed. Yo fit all of these. Yo could check any one of them boxes. Yo could check Hawaiian, Samoan. Yo could do Indian or American Indian. This is crazy. Real rap, bro. All jokes aside, bro, this man has a miscellaneous race. Real rap, y'all. It's a neutral. You can't call it. His hair make you want to say he black. Then you look at his facial features and you're like, oh.
And they slept together. And so Canell Jackson began to fight with this other female. And they wanted to fight. There were a lot of people there, and there were essentially 5 or 6 people on both sides. Mr. Sanders was not there at the time. I do believe his cousin,
I blame Holmes. Yo cheated on his chick and got the girls fighting. Then he come out there with the strap. Yo belong in jail. I ain't gonna lie. This clown shit. It happened for you. Then you come out with the strap? Come on, cuz. You acting willy-nilly, doing nut shit, and you can't even just, get it settled? Come on, bro. That's crazy. Wow. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. So is this gang activity? If this ain't gang activity, then why Self Rico ain't gang activity? Uh-oh. God damn. Woo. Woo. Ooh. 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 This is not a Rico? He in a gang. He shot somebody. It was a fight. He got called to the scene. This wasn't in furtherance of his gang? Seriously, y'all. Yo. Man, listen. Yo, wasn't the YSL beef, wasn't them boys beefing at the beginning of the beef about a girl? Right? Right? So how this not a Rico if he in a gang?
Mrs. Pons was on the side of Canell Jackson alongside of Shabonda Jackson. And actually, Mr. Hopkins is the boyfriend of Shabonda Jackson, who is Canell Jackson's mother. And so you have Mr. Hopkins, Shabonda Jackson, Canell Jackson, and Mrs. Pons on one side of the equation. And then you have the young lady whose name is escaping me and several of her female friends and guy friends on the other side of the equation. Mr. Sanders is in the middle of it because he ultimately is the person who had relationships with both females. We don't dispute that. When he got there, we believe that the facts and evidence will demonstrate, Judge, at the course of this trial, that he was unarmed at the time when he first got there. And that at some point, he was upset with Mrs. Pons, his cousin, because he believes that Mrs. Pons added fuel to the fire insofar as essentially inciting this fight between Canell Jackson and the other female that Mr. Sanders had slept with. And so there's no dispute that what would come out at trial is that Mr. Sanders began to put hands on Mrs. Pons because he was frustrated with her, essentially with trying to start turmoil between these two girls. And but for that, this wouldn't have happened. Judge, there is no doubt, it is disputed. There are individuals on Canell Jackson's side and individuals on the other female who Mr. Sanders had relationships with on that side. There is a dispute as to who shot first. Initially, Canell Jackson and others on that side of the fence, including Mr. Hopkins, indicated that Mr. Jackson or Mr. Sanders shot first. On the other side, the other young ladies and all of her friends indicated that Mr. Hopkins shot first. Hence the reason why they were both arrested. Mr. Hopkins unloaded his clip, and there were approximately 10 shell casings that were found in the area where he was standing, Judge. Mr. Sanders, it is our position, returned gunfire in self-defense. As the court knows, Judge, his prior lawyer filed an immunity motion. We believe that immunity motion was right, but I haven't refiled that at this juncture, given the late stage of the game in my appearance, because of our ability to try to negotiate something that ultimately what I believe is fair. I do believe that there would be a side of witnesses who would say that Mr. Sanders shot first, and that there are a side of witnesses who will say Mr. Hopkins shot first. I also believe, Judge, on the people that say Mr. Sanders shot first, those individuals in my investigation have recanted those statements, not because Mr. Sanders has put any pressure on them, but they were mad at Mr. Sanders for essentially being in the middle of all this and creating all of this drama because of he slept with this other girl.
Right.
It's a very serious incident. There's no doubt about that. The silliness that gave rise to the incident is kind of crazy, right? And it's a whole lot of mess. Having said that, you have two disputed sides of the story that would be statements made on both sides saying who shot first. And the state in this instance, at the very beginning, charged both individuals. Eventually, they dismissed it against Mr. Hopkins because they decided to believe the other side that believes Mr. Sanders shot first.
Oh,
I will say, Judge, that, look, he wasn't there initially armed. And at some point, he armed himself after Mr. Hopkins pulled out his firearm and started shooting. I know
How did that happen? He just clapped his hands and a gun fell from the sky? Or if he didn't show up armed, how does he suddenly have a gun?
Well, the individual who drove him to the scene was also armed and pointed a gun at Mr. Hopkins, trying to tell Mr. Hopkins to put the gun away. And all of that would come out. And then at some point, when Mr. Hopkins shot Mr. Sanders, it's my understanding, took his friend's gun and then began to return fire. That is what we would offer at trial in self-defense. And so, look, I get it. He's not supposed to be around guns. I totally understand that. There was a new provision that said even convicted felons have a right to use a gun in self-defense. I think that is what we have here, and that's what would come out at trial. It would be a hot mess at trial. And you would have state's witnesses recanting their statements about who shot first. You would have Mr. Hopkins probably being very difficult on the witness stand if he ever showed up and appeared in court. Having said that, you would have other witnesses who would indicate that, hey, Mr. Sanders did come there. He tried to break up a fight. He did have some words with his cousin Pons and was angry with her and assaulted her physically with his hands. But all of those other witnesses will say that it was Hopkins who pulled out his gun and started shooting first.
Oh, he put hands on his girl cousin?
The jury would have to sift through all of it and try to figure out who's telling the truth as it concerns who shot first. The jury would also have to figure out whether they believe Mr. Sanders and that he didn't have a gun when he first arrived. But I will note, Judge, he's always maintained that this is what has happened to me. You may have notice during the plea colloquy when he was asked whether he's pleading guilty because he is in fact guilty. I always get those little signals about pregnant pauses when that happens, right? There was a pregnant pause because
What?
he does believe he was defending himself because he was fired at first. Having said that, he's not trying to offer this plea pursuant to Alfred versus North Carolina. He's accepting full responsibility for his conduct. We do believe that this would be a hotly contested trial where the state would have a very uphill battle in establishing who shot first. And so for those reasons, Judge, there is a great risk because he's looking at significant time. He's offering this plea freely and voluntarily. We believe that it is appropriate for the court to accept the plea as recommended.
Oh, he offering a plea. What? What?
Notwithstanding his history. I do believe that one condition that is not as a part of the special conditions is that he obtained his GED within a 2-year period. I had been working with Mr. Sanders. I took his plea in the last case. He was working toward getting his GED until he kind of got locked up for the 140 days. And so that kind of derailed it. And then he had to have hernia surgery unrelated to any incident. But he had hernia surgery. And so he's just still fully recovering from that surgery. That's all I have to offer on behalf of Mr. Sanders, Judge. I do think that this would be a very hotly contested trial with disputed facts, with witnesses recanting and the jury being left to wonder as to who shot first.
If I could just add just a couple things, Judge. One of the reasons the state made this offer is the other female that Mr. Sanders was involved with that led to this fight is Tanasia Conwell. She is deceased, so we would not be able to call her as a witness. Mr. Hopkins has continued to say he did not shoot, but the physical evidence does not bear that out. So the state does have some concerns about his credibility. And that is the reason why we've made this offer, even though.
So y'all don't have no case. Oh, y'all did make the offer.
It does sound very low.
It doesn't sound low. It is low.
It is low. It is low, Your Honor.
Whoa.
But I was doing a little digging while I was also hearing that important information from Mr. Banks. And it turns out that the July 2023 arrest is for the results they gathered from the October 2022 arrest when Mr. Sanders yet again had a gun. But that's what he pled to in front of Judge Whitaker. And you said you handled that case, Mr. Banks, the case.
And there we go. And just when you thought it wasn't connected.
Please hit that like button, and while you're at it, share this video with a friend.
We can't keep running the same play.
Because I know you posted.
He just posted up.
Posted up on you.
I would like to get beneath the surface of things, and I'm getting very upset.
If you're still rocking with me, hit that like button, man. Piss these haters off.
In front of Judge Whitaker?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay, so for some reason, this 23 CP, there was a new warrant taken out for him because it showed that the gun he had, something about the gun, but it all goes back to October 2022.
So Whitaker let this nigga hit the streets? And all that? The last judge this nigga seen was Whitaker. And he hit the street. Oh man. Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You shitting me.
An arrest that was made. Mr. Sanders is driving a car. He's got a gun, marijuana in the car, etc. All that stuff, that arrest is the substance of what I'm going to call the Whitaker case. And that's already been resolved. And so I don't think the, number one, that the 23 arrest where he was in jail for only a couple of days could be a basis to revoke his bond in this case. And it's not a new, there's nothing the state could indict there because they already, he pled to the conduct of October 2022 in the case in front of Judge Whitaker. It didn't involve him shooting anyone. He just had a gun as a convicted felon again.
And Whitaker was being lenient?
I thought
Whitaker was lenient about that? For real? What?
July 23 arrest was yet another incident of him having a gun as a felon, but it was we'll call it a rearrest. They learned something else about the gun, and he got arrested again. But it was for something he had already been arrested for which he spent 4 months in jail.
4 months.
Mr. Sanders, anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
You working?
Am I working?
Yeah.
Not.
Oh, caught him off guard. Caught him off guard. Man down. He cut him off. Yo, hit him like your grandmother. Your grandmother, you know how once your grandmother be talking for a minute, you kind of zone out, then she hollered, you know what I mean? You working? You like, huh? Is you working?
Since I've been dealing with the courts. I almost been in court almost every month, Your Honor.
Now I asked you, was you working? Not court. You could work and go to court, cuz.
I'm not following you. You have other cases that are causing you to be in court, or just this one?
Like since I took my probation plea, like you say, I done been arrested like 2-3 times since. You know what I'm saying?
No, one time.
Don't just say, you know what I'm saying, to the judge, bro.
Since I took my probation plea, like you say, I done been arrested like 2-3 times since. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you say, I done been arrested like 2-3 times since. You know what I'm saying?
No, one time. I mean,
Judge, no good and goddamn well. How the fuck you got Gabe Banks if you ain't got no job, nigga?
Maybe we're missing
2-3 times since. You know what I'm saying?
No, one time. I mean, maybe we're missing some arrests, but just one. And that was in July of last year. So we've got a year and a few months under our belt since you were last arrested. Have you been working at all?
Yes.
I can't believe that boy said, you know what I'm saying? He off, y'all. Even the dumbest nigga won't say that. Yeah, like that's why most niggas be real short. Cause they know they ain't got the lingo, so they just trying, you feel me? Not even, it's yes and yes, sir, no, sir, all that. Cause they ain't trying to sound dumb. You feel me? This ain't the place for that. Holmes just.
I was working before.
What were you doing?
I was valeting cars.
Say that again?
I was parking cars.
Okay. Where were you doing that?
I was doing that right there.
Got him. Boy said he was parking cars. Yo, holla, where was you doing that?
On Peter Street.
On Peter Street?
Right there. Peachtree Street's pretty long. Where on Peachtree?
Bitch. The baddie. Salute for that super chat. Niggas say I was parking cars. Where? On Peachtree? Bitch, what was the name of the fucking spot you was working at? Who you was hired for? Fuck you mean you was parking cars on Peachtree? What the fuck? You was just regular fucking freelance fucking valet? Fuck you think this is, nigga? Who the fuck you park cars for, my nigga? At a restaurant? What? Nigga, what your uniform look like, nigga? Fuck you talking about?
Okay. Where were you doing that?
I was doing that right there on Peter Street.
Right there. Peachtree's pretty long. Where on Peachtree were you doing that?
No, on Peter Street, he said. Right
Oh,
up.
Peter Street, where he got arrested with the gun.
Yeah, there are a couple.
Yeah, he had the strap. Gabe tried to save him. Gabe saved him, y'all. That's dirty. Gabe came in. Nah, I gotta give respect for Gabe. I gotta give respect to Gabe. He hot as shit. Come on, he hot. It's obvious you saving him, though, Gabe. Everybody know what the fuck is on Peach Street, boy. Everybody in Atlanta know what the fuck down there, boy. You ain't gotta tell us it's a couple locations he could have worked. So you try and give us the hypothetical. Nah, Judge, you know it's a couple spots where niggas be parking cars down there. You know that, right? Fucking wrong with it.
Establishments there that valet parking, Judge.
Got it. Okay.
Which one, though? Nah, don't let him slide, Judge. Nah, fuck that. Gabe want to take control. Hey, Gabe, which one, though? Which one? What color uniform Holmes was wearing out there? You feel me? Because I like to frequent these spots. So I would like to know, because I maybe I came across this young fella while I was there. Which one of these motherfuckers was it, Gabe? Nah, Gabe. Nah, tell me. Which one? You got it in the paperwork somewhere? Could you email that over to me, Gabe? Some of his pay stubs. Yeah, Gabe, you got that shit? Since you speaking up and shit. You got it? Gabe, go ahead and look at your little file. You got a nice office right there, Gabe. Where the folder at that got his motherfucking pay stubs at, dope bitch?
I will say, in fairness to Mr. Sanders, he has come to me, Judge, and said he has been looking for a job. I said it's very important, I mean, with 2 kids, that he find, gainful employment so he can care for his 2 kids. He has reported to
you
me
need a job to take care of yourself before you have 1 kid, bitch.
that he has looked, although I have not seen any documentation of it. As I won't state that as an officer of the court. He just said he's had some problems given his felony record, which certainly is understandable in that regard.
Sure. No, it's not easy. It just depends what you're looking for. But we both, you and I, Mr. Banks, work with folks who manage to get jobs and have complicated criminal histories. So,
no doubt.
What?
Officer Evans, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor. Doing well. You doing okay this morning?
I'm all right. Tell me about 19 SC 167227. Did Mr. Sanders successfully complete probation on that, or did he not have probation for that?
1 moment, Your Honor. And that's 19 SC?
Yeah, 19 SC 167227.
That was recently in October of 2019.
Can you say that again?
I apologize. I was reading it to myself.
Oh,
reading it to yourself.
I said that was resentenced in October 9th of 2019.
Oh, I mean, it was a first offender that didn't work out well?
Correct, Your Honor.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said 19 SC?
Yes.
19 SC 167227?
Yeah.
I don't see that as being a first offender. The first offender I had for the defendant was 16 SC 144425. And that one was successfully completed. What could I be doing it? Was the 19 SC supposed to be a conditional discharge?
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm looking at it now. It was 1 year to serve 2 months, 10 months probe. So the case is closed. I just wanted to know how it went on probation.
he's currently on probation on that 22 SC case.
Right.
But yes, the other two cases have been successfully closed.
Okay. All right. Got it.
And I know the court has figured this out. Since he has been on probation, there have not been any violations of probation, Judge. So,
yep. So far, so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tap the like button.
Mr. Sanders, I find there's a factual basis for your plea, and that your plea is knowing and voluntary. Knowing means you've understood the things we've discussed. Any questions about anything anyone has said so far?
No, Your Honor.
And voluntary means that you're entering this plea because this is how you want to move forward. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Then I'm accepting your plea. I'm sentencing you pursuant to the Probation Options Management Act. That means that while you're on probation, if you have a small problem, like you miss a meeting, you and probation will work through that. But if it is more significant, you get arrested for anything, that comes to me.
Hold on. All that, and he getting probation?
And I will work through the consequences for that. So, Mr. Sanders, I'm going to modify this negotiated plea in one important way. Hear me out. I'm going to pronounce the whole sentence, and then I'll let you and Mr. Banks talk offline to see whether you want to go forward with it or not. You can tell I'm not comfortable with it. I don't think it's appropriate, but we're dealt the hand we have, which is that one, time has passed. Two, Mr. Hopkins is scarce, which doesn't surprise me and speaks to his role in this situation. And the state is, I think, fairly assessing its situation. But your role in this wasn't any more impressive than Mr. Hopkins is. And we're lucky that no one was more seriously injured than however seriously injured Mr. Hopkins was. And after this happens, you get arrested with a gun again. I think Judge Whitaker maybe didn't have all the information about you because this case.
What? She ain't have all the information about him. So y'all had an open shooting charge and caught a gun charge and went in front of Judge Whitaker and made out? What? And she ain't have all the information on him. What? What?
Ironically got indicted 2 years later. And so she didn't have before her not only.
What?
Were you arrested in October with an illegal gun, meaning the gun itself was illegal and stolen and modified, but you.
What? What?
He just posted up.
Kill confirmed. Roger that.
Hey, where the posted nigga at right now?
What's going on with posted?
Posted came out.
I haven't seen E-Bands. I'm gonna break that nigga face.
Yeah, I can't give posted back to late night. That ain't happening. No.
Modified. Yo, I don't know too many modifications. This boy, the feds coming to get home. You feel me? Yo, what in tarnations? Yo, how many possessions of a firearm as a felon charges did this boy got? He had to have a switch. I don't know no many modifications. What else I mean, what you doing? Changing the stock? You feel me? Like, you sawing it, what he had it sawed off? Nah.
You weren't supposed to have a gun because you're a convicted felon, but that came only a few.
Man, only mod you getting a charge for real, where it's registered like that. It gotta be, man, even a silencer or switch, but we know what he talking about. Nah, silencer rare than the Monjon. Dudes don't even be looking for damn silencers. They like the noise. For real. Silencers and suppressors. Dudes ain't never heard a dude ask for one of them. Dude don't even be looking for them. They want the noise. I promise you, I asked somebody, nigga looked at me like I was crazy. Like they wasn't even real. Swear to God. You ask about them on the streets, dudes look at you like, man, what? Man, you want some James Bond shit, boy. Here, take this stuff.
Months after you shot someone, but you've had a few breaks. There won't be more breaks if you get arrested again.
What? What? Yo.
I'm sentencing you on counts 1 through 3 to, let me see how little time you did on this case.
I think he did 2 days, Judge.
Well, I'm not even going to count those then.
2 days. Did you hear the monotone nature in which the lawyer said, I think he did 2 days, Judge? I see you, John. You said he not that red down there? All right.
I'm sentencing you.
That makes sense. Because I ain't gonna lie, you going under the jail, you get caught with one where I'm at. I don't know what they gonna do to you. But I got a feeling you get caught with a goddamn silencer where I'm at. Yeah.
There won't be more breaks if you get arrested again. Let me see how little time you did on this case.
I think he did 2 days, Judge.
Well, I'm not even going to count those then. To 10 years probation. Count 4 is 5 years. It has to run consecutive. That will be 5 years probation. And count 5 will be 5 years concurrent with count 1. That will be 5 years probation. So one difference is that it's 15 years probation rather than 10 years probation followed by 5 years suspended. I can revoke suspended time as well, but it's a whole lot easier if it's part of your probation, because I intend to revoke as much probation as I can if you are arrested again for anything that isn't just a moving violation. And certainly if you've got a gun on or near you. It will be a special condition of your probation that within 1 month from the start of your probation, which would be today, that you are either enrolled as a full-time student or you are working at least 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week. If you're not, you will have 10 hours a week of community service for every week that you are not either working or enrolled as a student. No contact at all with Mr. Hopkins. No violent contact with the other victims in this case. Ms. Nix already gave their names. And then finally, and the thing that will probably make the plea fall apart, but you and Mr. Banks will talk about it, I am adding as a special condition of your probation that you serve 10 weekends in jail, starting the weekend of next Friday. You would report to the Fulton County Jail by 5 p.m. that Friday, October 11th. You'll be released by 5 p.m. that Sunday, October 13th. And then the following 9 weekends, you would also be showing up to the Fulton County Jail to serve those weekends in jail. Since you aren't working right now, or if you are working, it's parking cars on Peter Street. I don't feel like I'm interrupting a job. I don't feel like I'm adequately sentencing you for what you've been doing the last couple of years, but I realize the limitations of this situation factually, and the fact that it got indicted 2 years after you got indicted for something happened later in time. So here we are. That is a different sentence than your lawyer asked for, and you have an absolute right to withdraw your plea and say, you know what, I'd rather go to trial, and we'll figure out when we can try your case. It's not going to get better as time goes on. Obviously, if you're acquitted at trial, it gets a whole lot better because it goes away. But if you are found guilty of any crime, to include simply having a gun at the scene, which you seem to have admitted you did, I can sentence you to 5 years in prison as opposed to 10 weekends in jail. So you and Mr. Banks should talk. I'm happy to put you in a breakout room where you guys can drop off the call. And then I need to know whether you want to go forward with this plea or exercise your right to withdraw the plea. Before you have that conversation with Mr. Banks, do you have any questions, Mr. Sanders, about what this sentence is all about?
Yo, just to let y'all know, yo got Gabe Banks. Yo could take this to trial and beat it. The state admitted they got trash evidence. Their witnesses not going to come, and they switching their testimonies. Case already been trashed. He's scared, though. Gabe ain't tell him. Gabe ain't tell us. Technically, Gabe was supposed to tell him, yo, nah, bro, you ain't taking nothing for this. They ain't got nothing. We going to court. Straight like that. Straight like that. They ain't got nothing. You sure these people ain't coming? Man, we ready to go rock out on these. You ain't taking nothing for this. You ain't taking nothing. You know what I mean? Because that probation is set up. Gabe know what's going down. Gabe know Holmes coming back. He know he coming back, baby. It sound good right now. You making out. It feel like you making out. But technically, he was supposed to take this to trial. When you got something on them, they ain't got nothing. You supposed to press. Real rap. They literally blatantly told you. Gabe know. Gabe know. He see the discovery. She even admitted it in court to the judge. Yeah, technically the witnesses switching up. One of them ain't going to even show up. Basically describing what's going on with the YSL trial with the witnesses. That's why they forcing all the witnesses. People don't be wanting to come. So yo ain't got to take this probation, y'all. They done showed their hand. By them willing to do it, he should take it to trial. Dunk on him. They gonna drop it before it go to trial. I'm gonna keep it real. This wouldn't even make it to trial. I don't think. Or it's gonna go through real fast, and the judge basically gonna see what's going on. Like, I mean, if y'all ain't got y'all witnesses, I mean, we ain't waiting around to see if y'all can get the witness. So let's press the line on them. Let's go to trial ASAP. They said they can't find the witnesses, and let's go to trial next week. Fuck wrong with them. Straight up. You don't get it? They ain't got what they need. Man, they ain't giving them no 15 years. Yeah, it's going to jail for sure. For sure. He just told you he dare you come back through here. I ain't doing you like that. I'd have pulled his ass to the side. Is he a witness? He ain't going to testify. And the other dude that was shooting ain't going to testify. And none of the witnesses going to testify because it's all internal. They all know each other. They all reneging now because time done went past. And it's like, yo, we was mad at the moment, you feel me? But right now, niggas ain't really coming in every time. You know? So this happen all the time. That's why he back with the girl. Look, he with the girl. He with his baby mother. So that like trumped the whole beef. And they've seen these situations. The bad part is Holmes is a repetitive criminal. That's the part that's shocking, that Holmes even made it to be back out on the street. But in context for this charge, as far as them getting him locked up for this, they ain't got what they need. Is Holmes basically sitting on, Yoden just set fire to his own ass, though, because he keep getting caught with straps. And he got open charges for other charges. So Holmes just put himself in like the wildest corner of, you're going to jail later. I'm going to keep it real. Like, this one is worse than, this similar to the YSL plea deals. But I ain't going to lie, Holmes' jacket say he he more liable to get caught with something faster than them niggas.
Nah, I just want to
You gotta
let
keep a burner in ATL. That's cap. Y'all got heavy zesty presence. So technically, dudes could move around amongst y'all people without the strap. Straight up. You don't have to keep a burner. I'm not accepting it. Nowhere. You don't have to keep one. It's a way to move. I ain't gonna get into details. That's a vague, simple statement. If going to jail, man, listen, bro, it's dudes. Listen, you gotta know how to move. If you're important, do you need the strap on you or it need to be close? So if I got a nigga that's legal, got two of them bitches on him at all times, we straight, right? Right? Game over, right? He legal. I'm a felon. I ain't supposed to be around him. I already gave my charge for being around him. You feel me? But let it go down. I bet man, it's automatic that nigga gonna hand me that one. That bitch on his left side, that's mine. Fuck wrong with you? I grabbed that bitch off his hip. Fuck wrong. What? What? He walking around? Yeah. What you think? Man, listen, bro. I stayed with some crazy shit on his hip. Yeah. If you want to see what kind of gun I got, just look at my man left side. Straight like that. Yeah, all the time. Fuck. I'm a felon, though. You like, yo, I ain't strapped, but bitch, it better not go down. Holmes got goddamn 44 on his waist. You understand? 44 legit. And technically, look, if they do find all these shell casings, he did that, right? I didn't do that. He did that. He was banging both them bitches. Look, he's a fucking Rambo. He saved my life. That nigga right there saved my life. Hell yeah. Look at this shit. Hell yeah, he was banging one, right? Look, then he did like a stop, drop, and roll type of move, right? On some old Schwarzenegger type shit. Hit the nail, pulled the left joint off his other hand with his left. I'm like, whoa, I ain't even know the nigga was ambidextrous, right? Hell yeah, firing them bitches. Bang, bang, bang. You feel me? Straight up. What you say, Super J? Yeah, but like that rule that you can't have a gun, that's easily defeatable, bro. You stay with somebody that's legal. Yeah, in a state where a regular person got the right to bear arms, hell yeah, I just got any average Joe. It might be my uncle today. It might be, you feel me, if I ain't got a permanent guy. Yeah, I just got, somebody with me. Sometimes two people. No, they ain't got to shoot. They just got a gun. Now, if they feel like shooting, that's cool. But shit, give it to me. You feel me? Come on. Now, certain situations, if somebody catch you right, they know how you rocking, they might run down and you ain't get a chance. That's just what you got to deal. You feel me? But if y'all on point, like everybody know, like when it's time, give yo the strap. It's obvious. Everybody know who want to shoot. Everybody know this. Everybody know who going to shoot, bro. Everybody know who to get a strap to. Put it like that. I'm telling you, if something go down, everybody know who should have a gun. It's just like the basketball game. You know, if it's crunch time, you know who you want to have the ball. Give it to our man. Everybody got, you feel me? It don't matter what situation you in. You know with your current team, who's, Now, you want to put yourself in situations where people can't get you. That's what you want to do. That's your main defense. Yeah. Yeah, that's how the slick people move, y'all. They put themselves in situations where just average people can't really get to them like that. It ain't hiding. It's a certain style of moving. You just kind of outsmarting them, so you can't really see them. So if you don't see somebody, you can't plot on them. You can't chase them, follow them, you know. You can't. They moving too smooth. It's too smooth. That's the main thing. Like, you don't want to even get into it with people. For real. You want to limit the access. Fake them out. Like, do you want to get in the shootout or you want to outsmart them to where as though the confrontation was null and void. They tried to line us up. We finessed them. Or you want to show that you got strength. Nah, you don't want to do that. It's no need. It's uncalled for. But this case right here is crazy. This case right here is nuts. I don't know how Holmes made it out with probation, y'all.
The bank, y'all.
All right, Mr. Banks, you guys want to go into a breakout room or you want to drop off and just talk over the phone?
I want to call him, y'all. I can call him.
A breakout room would be
Okay, I'll put you guys in a breakout room. See if I can make that happen.
Just look at your screen and then push the button when it prompts you. Okay.
All right, there's 1 and 2, and there you go. Well, all right.
Can I have please ready when you're ready?
Yo. Yeah, so that's that, y'all. Yeah, Fulton County, y'all. That dude had all those charges, and he out on probation, y'all. And Whitaker gave him probation as well. Then gave him all that probation to where as though, I don't know what to say about that. But one thing I do have to say, how Thug locked up? How was Thug locked up, y'all? No disrespect, but how Thug locked up? I found another one. It was another case, y'all. Hold on, let me see. Long story short, y'all, it basically is dudes with wild charges, and they getting off. They getting probation. So it make you like, yo, hold on. How? How they getting probation, man? So, yeah, man, I wanted to show y'all that, man. So, what's up with this? This shit froze. So, yeah. He got money. That's why Thug locked up. Explain. What you mean? That's legit? They setting him up like Woody? Maybe. You right. Because if they claiming he 4PF, so they claiming that dude that I just had up there was 4PF, y'all. He was charged previously with gang charges. And then they basically just keep letting him in and out of jail, racking it up. So now he on a whole bunch of probation. So maybe it is a play. But I ain't gonna lie, and he shot somebody though. So I don't know how that's supposed to go.
Please state your true, correct, and legal name.
Shakir Villafleur.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any medicine, drugs, or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Is there a medication that you normally take that you have not taken or been given today?
No, ma'am.
Convictions?
Schools. He works with her with the youth doing food drives and things of that nature. He works with his father as well. From my understanding, they work on vehicles. Mr. Villafleur is in the process again of finishing his master's degree because I believe he's going back to get it and pursue. I believe, if I don't get me wrong, his master's in what was it again?
Mass communications.
Mass communications, Judge. Currently, he's working at Target. He's been trying to get himself on track based upon this situation because it kind of derailed him from what
Brian Pumper ass nigga.
Your Honor, he was incarcerated for 4.5 years. I'm sorry, 4.5 months, Your Honor.
Yeah, so I got that.
That would be included in the sentence. What we're asking you, Your Honor, is that he's been on the since February of 22, which will be 2 years and 8 months. Georgia law states that it's by case basis by which you're the deciding factor on this. We're asking that he get credit towards the 3 years for the time he's been on home confinement. He hasn't had any issues, albeit the arrest in Cobb that has brought any issues to his confinement. He has made court dates. He has been, of course, communicated with me, and it is his record. It was our decision, Your Honor, jointly, and basically his to take responsibility. He wants to acknowledge under Alfred that it wasn't an intentional situation, but a reactionary one, I believe, in front of a jury would not be under the reasonable person standard, right? Which I had to explain to him and his family.
Well, and you've got Ellis. Ellis makes it complicated. If he's there and his story is, I'm just walking this guy to the car, and out of the blue, here's Villafleur, and he's shooting, and I'm not there. I don't know exactly what Ellis would say, but he's more of a neutral party than Iacono's version of events, I'm sure, would be. I had walked away and apologized and give him $100, and he shot me in the back. But that's
he looked like Don Tripp.
We got this neutral person that I think would definitely make it more difficult for you, as Mr. Villafleur's advocate in front of a jury, to sell the notion of your client thought he was about to be assaulted by a large group, I don't know, led by the bouncer. That's tricky.
And Your Honor,
what happened?
The exposure of 50 years, and with the kindness of the DA's office to offer the deal that it did, we thought it was just in his best interest to plead under first offender under Alfred and take responsibility, because he has been, Your Honor, maintaining that he wants to move forward and behind him. Again, he does have family support that they're willing to speak, and if court is inclined, I have to carry the witnesses briefly to address the court.
Sure.
Who wants to go first?
And can you grab the tissue box, Mr. Renner?
Don't cry. Dry your eyes.
All right, sir, if you would introduce yourself and speak clearly, because the court reporter is virtual. She's hearing everyone through microphone, so she's going to need to hear you belt it out.
All right, I'm
Thank you for being here, Mr. Villafleur.
I just want to talk.
You'll had to slide off cam. Niggas holler the tissue made him cry even more.
I got 4 boys, and Shakir doesn't have any children. Got a little one, and I actually coach little league football outside this, and Shakir's always been like a role model to me. He coached with me as well.